You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Monday, May 7th, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com, and it's the top 5 things to know in the market on Monday. First thing to know is U.S. crude tops 70 for the first time since 2014. Crude prices started the week in an upbeat mood, reaching their strongest level in almost 4 years. As traders increased their bets, the U.S. would pull out of the Iran nuclear deal, raising the potential for tighter global oil stock supplies. The Trump administration has until May 12th to decide whether to pull the United States out of a 2015 international accord to curb Iran's nuclear program and restore sanctions on one of the world's biggest oil producers. If sanctions are reinstated, that could contribute to tighter global oil inventories, as it would likely result in a reduction of Tehran's oil exports. And the third thing to know is U.S. stock futures point to a positive open. U.S. stock futures pointed to a positive open as momentum from Friday's tech rally looks set to continue. Third thing to know today is the dollar stays near 2018 highs. The dollar ticked higher against a basket of currencies, staying near its 2018 peak after U.S. jobs and wages data did little to temper perceptions of strength in the U.S. economy. The U.S. dollar index, which measures the strength of the greenback against 6 major currencies, was up around 0.2% at 92.61 from Friday's high of 92.75, its strongest level since late December. Fourth thing to note today is Fed speakers eyed for rate hike hints. Markets will pay close attention to comments from several major Fed speakers today for their views on inflation trends, as traders watch for clues on the pace of future rate hikes this year. And the fifth thing to know today is NAFTA talks resume. Ministers from the United States, Canada, and Mexico will gather in Washington on Monday to begin what government officials and industry leaders hope is the final leg of negotiations over the North American Free Trade Agreement. Discussions will center on rules of origin that govern what percentage of car needs to be built in the NAFTA agreement region to avoid tariffs, the dispute resolution mechanism, and the U.S. demands for a sunset clause that could automatically kill the trade deal after 5 years. Our second story today is from NASDAQ.com, Bitcoin, Ripple, and Ethereum charts at a glance. The multi-week rally in the crypto space has been aggressive, with Ethereum leading the charge higher. We've maintained that, broadly speaking, the group still faces big headwinds from the perspective of a sector still suffering from speculative excesses, despite the massive declines already experienced. A floor may have been put in, although that seems very much up in the air, but it's unlikely the market has been flushed enough to put together another major bull run. Looking at the shorter term, risk of a pullback is elevated. Bitcoin, Ripple, and Ethereum are in focus. Our third story today is from CNBC.com. Nestle to pay $7.15 billion to Starbucks to jumpstart their coffee business. Swiss-based food giant Nestle will pay Starbucks $7.15 billion in cash for the rights to sell the U.S. coffee chain's products around the world in a global alliance aimed at reinvigorating their coffee empires. The deal on Monday for a business with $2 billion in sales reinforces Nestle's position as the world's biggest coffee company tries to fortify its place atop a fast-changing market. Seattle-based Starbucks said it will use proceeds to speed up share buybacks, and the deal would add to earnings per share by 2021 at the latest. Nestle said it expects the deal to sell Starbucks bagged coffee and drinks, adding to earnings by 2019. It will not involve any Starbucks cafes. And our final story today is from investing.com. The dollar holds near a 4-month high in fourth week of gains. The dollar started off the week in a continuation of recent upward momentum, coming off 3 straight weeks of gains. Monday, the U.S. dollar index rose 0.18% to 92.59 to close at its peak of 2018, 92.75. In a session with no major economic reports, investors will watch appearances from members of the Federal Reserve to gauge the future path of monetary policy. Fed officials Raphael Bostic, Tom Barkin, Charles Evans, and Robert Kaplan will all deliver speeches throughout the day on Monday. The most recent jobs report, released last Friday, showed fewer jobs were created in April than expected, but the unemployment rate fell to 3.9%, its lowest level since December of 2000. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, May 7th, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.